can happen even when it's not your fault. So what should you do when you get fired? We're answering your questions this morning. Career coach Don Strankowski from Ascend Career and Life Strategies is here to explain. No one likes to talk about it, but it happens to everybody, maybe once in their lifetime, and there's a best way to handle it. How do we do this?
It's happened to a lot of successful people, Nick, in terms of Jerry Seinfeld, Mark Cuban, and even Oprah was once told that she has no place on television. So it can happen to the best of us. If you find yourself on the receiving end of a termination, the first thing to do is assess your unemployment benefits, COBRA, and your finances. So make sure that you work with the HR director as to how to sign up for unemployment, because it can literally take a couple of weeks before you're receiving benefits. COBRA will allow you to purchase health care to reduce costs for up to 13 months. But even more importantly, I think, is really take a look at your monthly expenditures and where you can make some cuts. Can you bundle your cable and internet and phone services? How about clipping some coupons or even turning down the thermostat, because your income obviously is going to shrink for a period of time.
What about severance packages? Is there a best way to handle that?
Yes, many people are offered a severance package, but it's important to review the severance package when you're off the premises. You don't want to get emotional during the meeting when you are terminated, and most companies will allow you between 2 to 4 weeks to take a look at the conditions, and once you sign it, there's really no going back. But I think it's even more important to negotiate with the employer, Nick, as to what they're going to be saying to your future employers when they call to confirm your employment. No employer wants to engage in a lawsuit with an angry former employee, so it's in their best interest to maybe negotiate a dates only or neutral terms type of situation. You definitely do have some negotiation power if you're the terminated employee.
You talked about don't get emotional about it, right? So maybe do you want to take some time off and think about this, cool off period, as you put it here in your advice?
Definitely, and this could be the most important point. You definitely want to take a cool off period and really take an objective look from 50,000 feet up. What went wrong in the situation? What went right? And what would you do differently in the future? This is also an outstanding time to go to work on yourself. Get out and volunteer. Get involved. You're going to feel great about yourself. You're going to be developing some new networking contacts and sharpening your skills. And if you've fallen off the wagon in terms of an exercise program, now is the time to get back on. You can start a walking program, run, maybe get back to the gym, but really go to work on yourself. And also, Nick, it's important not to disparage your former employer. Now, even though you may be seething, don't spread ill will. It could actually open you up to some litigious activity.
All right, we have the last tidbit here, and it's an important one. When you're going to that next job interview, how do you want to handle how the previous job went?
This is one of the most common questions I get as a career coach. How do you handle the termination question, should we call it, in an interview situation? It's pro forma right now for employers to conduct background checks and confirm prior work history. So, number one, honesty is the best policy. You need to be truthful. So state what happened and then what you would change or maybe how you would handle the situation differently in the future. Once again, don't disparage, don't get emotional, but really turn it into a positive as to how you've grown and that perhaps the position that you're interviewing for is a much better fit than your prior position.
All right, Don, great advice this morning as always, and you can find more information in the on-air section of our website, kdvr.com. Just click on the link to Ascend Career and Life Strategies.